Sarah here today for UK Scrap Addicts, and apologies for the state of my hands. They're absolutely covered in ink. I've been doing rainbow stuff, so I'm just covered. So for this month we have a theme of clustering, and as always there is a sponsor who is offering a prize. So if you want to join in the challenge, this month's challenge is to create a project that contains 3 clusters. Once you've completed that, you just upload it to the UK Scrap Addicts Facebook group, and you could be in with a chance of winning a prize from our sponsors this month, who are Thompson's Crafts, who are also generously offering a 10% discount from their store. So if you want to join in, grab yourself some bargains, then just check out the links below where you'll be able to find out all the details you need for that. So to begin with, for my layout, I have started off with my background and a bit of mixed media. I'm using a multi-medium paper here, which means that it won't warp as much, and as I'm adding a lot of water to this to get this effect. What I've done is first of all added lots of water in a vague splash shape. Then on top of my water I've added my ink sprays, which are dilutions, and what I've done is I've just got them in that palette and they just dried out from the last time I used them, and all I've done is reactivated them with water and then added them onto my layout. I'm coming in with my photo there, which is of my little boy splashing in a puddle, and just checking that there is some of the background peeking out the sides of the photo, because quite often I'll do a mixed media background and then it just gets completely covered up by my photo. So I'm just bringing it in every now and then just to check that it is going to show through. And just for a little bit of extra interest, I added a little bit of the cut grass dilutions ink spray as well, which then mixed with the tealy Calypso teal colour and just creates a bit more of a swirly effect around the bottom of the puddle type splash thingy. So now that I'm happy with that, I've just left that to one side to dry, and I'm coming in with my papers now to create my cluster around my photo. I'm using my Mind the Scrap August kit. I'll leave a link below for that as well. It's a UK kit club if you want to go and check them out. So first of all, I'm just grabbing some tissue paper from my stash because I wasn't happy with either the black or the white cardstock as my border behind my photo. I felt like it was too harsh and I wanted it a bit messier, and I think it looked better without such a sharp border to go with my splashy messy background. So now that I've got that soft edge around my photo, I'm coming in with some of the papers from my kit and just choosing colours that I think will go well. And there's this lovely blue paper, greeny blue paper there, so I've added a piece behind my photo, and then I'm just coming in now to create a border for my mixed media paper. It's comes in a pad that's A3, which isn't quite 12 by 12, and I cut it down to 11.5 so that I then always mount it onto something else. So I've cut the centre of that piece of paper out, and I'd usually do less of a border, but if I use a lot of water with my mixed media, I do leave a bigger border to help secure it behind and keep it nice and flat. So I've used the centre of that piece of paper. Then I've come in with some of that shiny teal paper, which is absolutely perfect match for my mixed media in the background, and I've added a layer of that. And then this is just some super cheap foam from Hobbycraft in a big, you get a big pack of it, dead cheap, and I'm just adding some of this double-sided tape because my ATG gun has run out of tape and I need to get some more tape for it because I hate peeling off the backing on this. It just slows me right down. So yeah, I'm just peeling off the backing and then choosing where I want to put my photo, and I do end up putting it higher than I originally planned just because I liked the way the ink had mixed together at the bottom. I didn't want to cover up all of that there, so I've left that so you can see a bit more of the mixed media underneath. So I then end up changing my mind, and now I'm going to end up using this piece of paper instead, cardstock in the background, and it's got a super sheeny blue colour to it, and usually I would cut some of that out, but it was my paper was very saturated, so I felt like it needed that full piece behind it. So, and I've got a lot of paper in my stash, so I'm not too worried about being thrifty. So for my title, I want to use the YOLO, or You Only Live Once, because I felt like it's that kind of happy-go-lucky phrase that works really well with anything silly or childish and fun. So that's what I'm going for, and I've trimmed that out of those gold mirrored stickers there, ready to use. I'm now going to create a sort of a scenery cluster, I guess you call it, for the top of my page. And because it's a puddle, I decided to do some little clouds that I'll layer up at the top. I have done one of each colour so that I can choose which large and which small to use, and then the others will just go in my stash, and I'll use them eventually, because I do like to use little clouds. They seem to go on a lot of things. They go on like sleepy time layouts, rainy day layouts. They just go on a lot really, so I find them really versatile. These ones are by Dynamics. I think they're called flat bottomed clouds. I just got them from a local craft shop. So here I'm creating my little scenery cluster here, where I'm just adding 2 clouds and then that mirrored rainbow, which will work well with my title, because obviously it's from the same style of embellishment from the same sheet. So next up, I wanted to add something to the bottom of my layout, and I decided the best thing would probably be a tag, because tags are great to just layer things on top of. They give you a background to then add things on top of. So I've got this die set again, I've had for years. It's Tim Holtz Tiny Tags, I think it's called. And so I just trim out a few of them, and at the moment my plan is to layer my title on top of them, but I do end up deciding that it's just covering up too much of my background, and I end up putting the title on the actual photograph instead, and then I add just a part of that tag and then a smaller tag to the side of it there, which I will then layer up a few little bits and pieces for a second cluster to mirror the top bit. So I have from my stash this sequin string or sequin ribbon that's a beautiful blue colour. It works really well with the background, so I add some of that. I also add some sequins and stars, which are from the kit as well, and I add this big long swirly piece here underneath my photo, because I think it ties in really nicely with the watery theme. And then I just balance everything out by having, I've got little stars with the clouds and then little stars on the tag at the bottom, and then I just add a few gold sequins splashed about here and there to draw in from the title and the rainbow. And now I'm adding a touch of highly sort of colour shine in teal and gold. Now the mirror pieces, the gold mirror pieces from the title and the rainbow, do have a backing on them, but I've left them on until after I've finished my mixed media, and now I'm just peeling them off, and now you can see they just go super sheeny shiny now. And that is me done. That is my layout complete. Thanks for joining me today. If you'd like to see more of my layouts, then I'll be leaving links below for all my social media things, etc. Don't forget to go check out what all the other girls are doing over at UK Scrap Addicts. And here's some close-ups. Have a great day. Bye!